hello there, everybody. How you doing? Oh yeah. Again, tell me if this is like not running smoothly. Like I'm looking at it and it's not updating very quickly. Like it's staggered, I guess. Motion is staggered, but it should be fine. I think it's just my local playback on OBS. Reports yesterday say that it was fine. Whenever you run some games, maybe they take up too many resources, which I can't see that being the case with Halls of Torment, but sometimes they go a little bit bananas and take too much resources away from OBS, which has like a very high system priority in my computer. Just another reason why I would really like a second machine just to broadcast from. Whatever. We back today. We're going to be playing more Halls of Torment. If you missed yesterday's stream, there's 12 hours of VOD you can check out. I played for the entire duration. This thing is addictive as hell, and I am very, very, very excited for its release. It comes out next week on the 24th. It'll be $5, I think. And there is a Steam link in chat. If you're curious, just go ahead and hit !HOT. And for Halls of Torment, not the 90 degrees that it currently is in my room. Alright, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to explain as best I can walking through the game. I have unlocked 4 characters at the moment. This guy is a... Is he a pyromancer? I don't know. He's holding a flamethrower. We have a warrior who has a slashing attack. This is a cleric. It's like a debuff style attack. It's not bad. It's kind of one of the more difficult ones to use thus far. And then we've got the archer, who is probably my strongest. Actually, I take it back. The run that we had last night with the warrior was definitely the stronger. But I need to get a few cleric wins. I'm going to select that character. This is the unlock tree. Hello, Muddy. This may look confusing at first, and there's a little bit of a communication issue with a lot of the UI, but I expect this to all be reworked or worked upon either prior to launch or during early access when it comes out. It's not the clearest is what I'm saying. So yeah, the user experience could be definitely improved, but I will try to walk you through what I'm looking at. So each zone has achievements. There is overall zones called overall achievements called milestones. And then every character also has achievements to unlock. They're on this like job board system. If you've ever played Final Fantasy 12 or something similar, you have to unlock one to make available to unlock the next, and so forth and so on. So it's like a staggered unlock system. It's actually quite good. All of the ones in gold have been completed. So for the Haunted Caverns, which is the first level, we've done 18 out of the 26 total. And down here, you can see the total number being 202. I've done 81 out of that. That is incidentally giving us an experience boost for in-game. So we earn extra experience because I've done quite a few achievements thus far. And I'm still working on it. This is one of the systems, right? In the game. What would be a good example to start here? I guess like... Okay, so defeat the Imp Chieftain, one of the champion enemies. And we unlock the second level because of that. What's ironic is the second level is actually way more difficult than you would think, being that this was one of the first unlocks. Defeat the Lich. We unlocked the Cleric character, which is the one I'm about to be using. Then there's also like using certain items. So some of them are much easier in terms of obtaining enough damage done to enemies, versus some, like the Astronomer's Orbs, which either I am not quite understanding, I'm not lucky enough to get the right upgrades for it, or it needs to be tweaked a little bit. Balancing for this, I can definitely see a lot of areas that would require some changes balance-wise. Some things are too easy to accomplish, some things are too difficult. So, for example, kill 5,000 enemies in one run. Easy peasy, we get $500. Now, gold is your primary resource, your meta currency resource outside of doing achievements, right? But before we get into that, I'm going to swing by... it's the second level. I've done a few things in the second level, but it's proving quite difficult. It's a very difficult stage. This here, for example, is the Path of the Sword, which is your warrior. I've done most of those achievements. I think the next thing I have to do is get 3 million damage with ring blades. Again, I think that'll be possible, but I think I have to get also very lucky with upgrades for the ring blades in each run. And then down here is reach level 100. We cannot do that yet. I don't think we're earning enough XP. However, I did just unlock a trinket. I'll explain all that in a second. Swift as an arrow, these are the achievements for the archer. So reach level 30, reach level 60, reach level 100. Enter the halls of torment 20 times and survive at least 5 minutes. To unlock the collar of confidence, which is an item unlock. So you can unlock items, passive perks, I think, for a specific character. You can earn increased levels for upgrades, items, and different types of upgrades as well. So there's a whole bunch of stuff, both meta upgrades and during run upgrades. It's this is what I was saying before. It's very complex. There's not too much thought, it seems, at present that's gone into placement and flow of a lot of this. So I expect a lot of this system to get reworked moving forward. Scorched Earth, this is our pyro guy. It's a person with a flamethrower, a pyromancer. Not sure. Unholy Crusade. So this is the one that I'll be working on now. Cleric getting to level 60 we should be able to do. Survive 20 minutes without regenerating any health. Oh, interesting. So what's fascinating about fragile stamina is there's a bug at the moment. This, I thought I'd unlocked it. Apparently I haven't. This achievement pops every 30 seconds. It's really weird. It appears at the bottom of the screen. Nothing I can do about it until it gets fixed. Survive 20 minutes without regenerating any health. Regenerations from potions or effects is allowed. I have to think about that. Potions or effects. So we just don't collect any health upgrades. And we'll see. We'll see. I've got a few items that deal with getting health back. So 20 minutes? I can do that. All right. Potions or effects are allowed, which would be an item effect, yeah? I don't know. I'll think about it. Here's your milestones. So, for example, spend 333 minutes within the game. That unlocks an additional level of dedication. There's ones to earn money. There's... what else we got? Apply damage effects. Enter and survive for 5 minutes. Deal 10 million damage in total. Crit enemies 100,000 times. Consume a total of 100 potions. So basic stuff, right? Some of these are more difficult to unlock than others, but like kill 150 elites, it's going to take a while. I've gotten 56 and I played for 13 hours yesterday. So that's the XP tree, and I am assuming when we unlock new characters, and unlock new zones, more panels will become available, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, next. We have the passive skill tree over here. So, we were just talking about passive health regeneration. That is currently set at 0. I've been sort of refunding and buying different stuff. I'm going to try to get that, because if we can achieve that or get that achievement, maybe it'll stop appearing every 30 seconds. Maybe it won't. I don't know. So I usually go with meta currency earning. I got to max that out for sure. Followed by attack speed, followed by damage. That's my primary 3 I go for. We can spend 2,500 bucks. Defense isn't bad. That's like damage reduction. There's a block, which doesn't seem to be in here either. Movement speed might be great here. I'll take one of those, and I'll take a defense. And I'm not going to get area projectile size yet with this character, and I'll explain more about the cleric in a second. So that's the passive tree, and then on top of that, you've got this guy over here. This is the well keeper.
You're making a smart choice by resubbing here. Thank you.
Wasn't sold on the prologue.
I wasn't sold on the prologue, but I'm imagining there's much more in EA.
It comes out next week officially, but yes, I'm hooked. I think it's brilliant. I never played the prologue. So what you do when you're down in the dungeons, you're allowed to send one item up. And this guy sort of holds on to those items until you purchase them. When you purchase them, you can see how expensive they are. They go in this little chest, and then you can sort of have a set equipment loadout that you take with you every time. So, for example, I've got a few good ones here. I've got plus 30% additional strike, which gives us essentially every third shot is a double hit. Ring of Fire transforms your damage type of your main weapon into fire. It now has a 10% chance to burn enemies. Burn is damage over time. It's a flat damage over time based on the number of stacks, I think. We were trying to work it out yesterday. A lot of the minutia of how stuff works isn't communicated to the player. I did joke yesterday that it does tell you more than what Darkest Dungeon 2 does. But we're still learning. It's not even in early access yet. I'm more than confident that the dev team will be able to provide a lot of that stuff. Even the stat screen, it's virtually worthless. I can't really make informed decisions based on the items I want to get or the spells I want to use, just because it's difficult to read. Anyway, I'll show you more about that later. This is the one I just unlocked yesterday. That's a plus 30% XP gain. So we will be able to level faster. We have, I think it was 30 or 40% bonus from the number of achievements we've done. So we're getting there. Whether or not we'll make level 100 in one run, at least in the first stage, maybe not. I doubt it for the moment. We're wearing a hat, gives us plus 15% health. Wooden ring, 5% base critical chance. Very basic. This gets replaced next if we find a ring. And the little symbol here tells you all you need to know. So the little green thing means I own it, right? That's in the chest, I guess. And if we talk to this guy again, well, if we find these items downstairs, they'll have a little gold circle, I think. And then for ones that we haven't even sent up yet, there's a little gray star to differentiate those. So anyway, I'm gonna roll down with this. I'm happy with the loadout. I really want to unlock in the second zone the Warlock, I think, but I can't even reach that far yet. All right, so let's go down here. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna pick up. Oh, Ring Blades was 3 mil, right? But that was on... That was on the Warrior. Okay, so... Abilities are your additional skills. I have my own already, your primary weapon. Additional skills are... You've seen them before in any number of other horror survival games. In fact, there's not a lot here that's original. But I can explain how they work as we go through a run here. I'm gonna grab, as good as Lightning Strike is, as good as Ring Blades is, I'm gonna grab Arcane Splinters. I think I still need some unlocks with that. Right. So this is my primary attack, and you'll see the Arcane Splinters there as well. You'll notice that the amount of damage I'm doing to enemies is changing, and that's because the amount of damage we're throwing out is finite, and it's split evenly amongst the number of enemies in your little damage cone. And that's what makes this one quite a difficult character to use. If you reduce the cone size and reduce the range, you actually can do more damage to fewer enemies. And we're talking in the thousands. So it does make a big difference when there's a ton of small minions running around and your hits are getting divided by 20. It's garbage because stuff is staying alive too long. So you've got to... It's very risk reward. It's very difficult to use, but I'm going to try. So I won't be taking any collateral damage. I would like some movement speed. Channeling is duration, the amount of time summons and or effects stay on the screen. We don't need that yet, although it does work specifically for Arcane Splinters. Wait, no, health regen is what I cannot take. Okay, so I am going to take, in this case, channeling. You have a couple of options in terms of directional shooting or automatic targeting. Both are available straight off the bat. And you can switch on the fly. I wish you could change the key, which activates and deactivates that, because stopping attacking in the middle of a tough fight is really, really bad. I love attack speed. I'm going to keep stacking that. So, like, if I hit one unit, 399 damage. Was that 700? 799 for a single unit. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Let's go with swift feet. Movement speed's not bad. I'm gonna go run down and grab another skill. I'm not too concerned with picking up the XP lying on the ground in the form of gems. Just because it's it did say items and potions are okay to unlock, right? Because there's a little item that lets you collect everything on the screen, and unfortunately it's shown on the map, so it really devalues the collection radius. So we don't want to make the cone bigger. We don't want to increase the range. Yep, Diablo 1, early Diablo 2, and Vampire Survivors, very heavy inspiration. It wears its inspiration on its sleeve. I might take block strength here. Less damage we take, the better, I suppose. So I'm walking towards another skill, and we may be able to stack the same skill or a different type. Again, this is not very well communicated to the player, but there's upgrades for the skills, and they are extremely powerful. And if we need to get Arcane Splinters rocking and rolling, then maybe it is a good thing if we find another one. Dedication and health regen. Can't get it. Not yet. At least not until the 10-minute mark. It counts backwards from 30, so that's how it differentiates itself. Unfortunately, it does use Roman numerals, Swift Feet 2, Collateral Damage 1. So obviously, you know, I'm sure Activision Blizzard will be in touch. I'll take movement speed again. I think it's Diablo's the only game to use Roman numerals, right? Okay, we're surviving so far. Okay, so here we go. Proficient stance. This gives us extra damage for the main weapon. So that's extra damage overall. Let's say we were doing 1,000. This could be multiplicative based on items. Again, a lot of this information is very difficult to work out. It's not super clear. But it's got negative 30 range. And you think, oh, that sounds really bad. In this case, I don't hate it. It means I'm going to be hitting less enemies, which means more damage to smaller groups. Math is vague. It is very vague. Yeah, there's a couple of things. Like I said, there's so much stuff going on. It's so surprisingly deep that none of this surprises me at all for a game that hasn't even been released in early access yet. I would expect it to be like this. I will take increased damage for sure. Slimes are quite difficult. Slimes sometimes have to be hit multiple times, and the bigger ones split into smaller ones, which can actually, if you are killing too many at once, can be super dangerous because it can push them into you, reduce your walking space here. See that? Single target just wrecks. Next, we're gonna take... Do I need Phantom Needles? I think I might need Phantom Needles too. That's fine. Yeah, these are the hardest things to unlock, is the skill... the skill unlocks. They're definitely the hardest things to get. Attack speed, main weapon. Damage, main weapon. So here we've got weapon proficiency. So there's a couple of different and overlapping skills, right? There's like damage, and then there's weapon proficiency, but weapon proficiency gives you a choice. So I think it's rarer. Again, very, very hard to know why some of these are showing up. Whether you always have a choice, because some of them, it seems like the same one comes back over and over again. Yuri's attack speed over damage. Not in this case. This specific weapon, I'm going to disagree. Phantom Needles. Okay, so here we have... You'll see plus 20% attack speed for the ability, right? So that's Phantom Needles, which is literally just this one little firing doodad. I'm going to be rolling probably Quick Hands, which is 8% attack speed across the board. We can come back to Phantom Needles later if we want. Have I been playing Darkest Dungeon 2 offline? I played for 4 hours, 5 hours trying to get an achievement. A couple of nights ago, that's about it. But no, other than that, everything's streamed. Yeah, when they smooth out the communication of this game, I don't even mind the low-res graphics. Funny story. This is not what the game looks like normally. It's actually worse than this. Like, they've really gone for a D1 inspired look, and it looks fucking horrible. Attack speed on splinters wouldn't be bad. -5 projectile size, as we all know. Projectile size means very, very little in the case of projectiles that auto-target. And these ones kind of just sit on the ground. People have landed on either Bullet Heaven or Horde Survival. That's a mistake. Horde Survival is the only name given to this style of game. I wouldn't know what a Bullet Heaven is. That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard in my life. Let's go Transfixation so we can hopefully get a win here. Ah, but Wanderbot uses Bullet Heaven. It must be right. Wanderbot can be wrong occasionally. Okay, we're going to take base critical hit here. So again, across the board, all skills. 5% base critical hit is not a small amount. It's pretty great. So this first zone, I don't think you can change the number of enemies that appear, but the amount of XP earned is definitely going to be different based on your earning potential. Yeah, so it's like Vampire Survivors. I think the more you kill, the more appears. In this, it looks like every level is a set amount of units. I was really surprised that we were able to kill 25k in this same level yesterday. But we did it. We got there. Think of it this way, in Bullet Hell, there's a boss in the... Oh, I don't need to read the explanation. I understand. I just think it sounds absolutely horrendous. Wait, what did I just buy? I just bought the thing, didn't I? Health regen? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. That was a mistake. Well, now I've done it. Damn it. So Transfixation is an amazing skill. Probably one of the best that I've seen thus far. I'm not going to take a on-hit chance, though. This is already a very high chance to apply a debuff of Weaken. Vulnerable. It applies Vulnerable. You don't really need to... Well, we're not hitting as fast anymore. It's so funny. I remember I can't stand brand Twitter lately, by the way. It's so fucking unoriginal. But Ponkelsoft put out a tweet saying, hey, what should we call the genre? And then VS-like was one of them. No mention of magical survival. I was like, that's a ballsy move right there. Additional projectiles and area. Yes. Where am I going? All right, I'm going to get the next piece of equipment. Everyone's like, well, Wendy's did it really good. It's like, yeah, but you're not Wendy's. You're fucking Razer. Please stop communicating with other brands. It just looks so fucking weird. Piercing necessary? No. Attack speed with main weapon, sure thing. Oh man, I really wish I hadn't got that health regen. I mean, it's good. I usually get health regen, but I'm trying to avoid it just for the achievement. I thought we had the achievement, given that it fires off every 30 seconds. Although, I don't think it has during this run. So either it's fixed or it doesn't happen with this character, perhaps. Arcane Splinter again. Attack speed minus projectile size. That's totally fine. Oh, we got the butcher. I mean, the red guy with the meat tenderizer. All right, let's have a look. So none of these items I've sent back, right? So I need to choose one that I either want to use on the run or I can choose to send it back. Increases the base critical damage by 20%. It's all right. I wouldn't necessarily use it as a starting weapon. Leaves a trail of goo. This is new. Enemies that touch the goo slow down. Puddles disappear after 5 seconds or when touched. Fighter's Headband. On killing a boss or elite, activate health regen for 60 seconds, regenerating 1% health per second. This is one of the only items that recovers a health percentage. Every other item is flat. Item and skill is a flat increase in health or a recovery in health. I'm gonna grab the boots though. That kind of sounds fun. I have no intention of buying them anytime soon because the gear, again, I'm always going to go for extra attacks, extra projectiles, attack speed, or effects, or meta currency in the case of earning an extra percentage of XP. I'm going to grab this. It's going to equip it. I have no way to put it immediately into my bag, which means that'll close, the menu will close, and then we go in here and we have to swap it back to movement speed. I'm not immediately going to the bucket, which is how you get items out of the dungeon. I am going to the other treasure chest up here, which has another item in it. There's an achievement to purchase 10, and I think there's an achievement to purchase 80. I think I read that right yesterday. 80? Maybe 50. It's a lot of items from the guy. None of the stats on the items are randomly generated. They all seem fixed. And some are way more powerful than others. I have currently purchased 8 items from the vendor. Yeah, we're much stronger just with passive upgrades, straight up. Proficient stance 2, 5 defense. That's extremely high. I'll take that. So remember, defense is flat damage reduction. I think there's a threshold involved. You don't know how, but you've never played a game like this? You missed a big craze. The one that, as Kragan put it, popularized the genre is called Vampire Survivors, which I'd be very surprised if you didn't hear about. It was simple, it was effective, and it was cheap. Warhorns, this is also new. Every 6 seconds, you perform a war cry, which weakens enemies in its range for 2 seconds. Weakened enemies receive 50% more damage. That's also not bad. I think I would much rather send the Rat Ring or the Warhorns back. You despise the like genre tags because they don't mean anything. Souls-likes almost never have any of the things you like about Souls game. Roguelikes frequently have virtually nothing in common with the game Rogue. Ah, you're a traditionalist! Exclamation mark roguelike. That is the definition I prescribe to. The language has definitely been modernized. Transfixation, area, and number of projectiles. So you'll notice the number of projectiles is a percentage, or in this case, shown as a decimal. How that works, so 0.3 additional projectiles, roughly every third shot, you'll get 2, right? Instead of 1, or 3 instead of 2. One thing's for sure, whatever you call a game, as long as you're not being reductive, I think, in your intentions when saying, I don't think there's any harm in calling it whatever. It's such a pointless conversation. And people have argued, you know, the calling something a blank-like is a bad idea. I disagree. It is the fastest way to describe a particular game in as fewer words as possible. A Souls-like? Bam! I know exactly what to expect. Metroidvania? Bam! Know exactly what to expect. I guess the biggest problem with saying Souls-like is maybe people expect a level of quality that, unless you're a AAA studio, may not be able to provide. It might as well go health regen. I've messed that up. They call them Soulsborns? Do you know the only time, well, not the only time, but the first time I heard that was when the Happy Hob was doing his Soulsborne game playthrough. I'd never heard it referred to that prior to him. Multi-hit is rare and very strong. God Run. There's a fan. Soulsborne Akiro. More Stranding-like games? Hey, speaking of, if you've got an Epic account, you can get Death Stranding for free today. That's kind of a big deal. Get wrecked. Woof. No upgrades. Shoot. Standard version? Is that a bad thing? Is the deluxe version of Death Stranding mind-blowingly different? It's free. 3D action RPG with slow, thoughtful combat. Yep, I think one of the biggest things is a stats system of some description, some kind of like light RPG mechanics. But more importantly, the meta currency sharing both experience and purchasing power. That's what I expect when I hear that. Difficulty's another thing, sure, yeah. If you die, you lose access to your corpse. You lose access to whatever currency you have, and you may suffer minor setbacks. Speaking of Souls-likes, I watched the trailer for The Lords of the Fallen today, and it looks really fucking good. God knows who chose the music in that trailer, but the rest of it looks good. You don't have the patience for Death Stranding? No, unfortunately neither did I. I really wanted to like it. It was probably too slow and methodical for my liking. Piercing. I don't think I want piercing. Donkey Jim, hello. Lightning strikes are very strong. One of the strongest skills in the game. I have a fly in this room. I don't know how. Probably all the crap I eat in this room. Critical chance stun range. Let's get more speed and recovery. How am I today? I am good. Very good. So after this run, depending on what we are able to unlock, I may actually 166 base damage for the main weapon. Yes, please. I may actually attempt to fight the next zone. Alright, we made it to the bucket. That's cool. Sometimes I die on my way back to the bucket. You can only send up one item. I'm going to send up the war horns. That seems like pretty strong. Hey, free suck orb. Nice. 10% damage, 20% damage, 20% crit, minus 10% stun range. I'm okay with that. Proficient stance. Cone width increase. See? That means more things hit. But maybe cone width is less important than range. So was that like unlocking the item for future runs? Kind of. That's half of the process. You're only allowed to send one item back per run, but you still have to spend money, and they're not cheap. We're talking, you know, thousands and up. So you, like, the loadout that I have right now as a base loadout, pretty standard, works on most characters. I don't have to change a lot. Plus, we're doing fire damage with every hit because of a ring that I have. Like, it's pretty good. Or sorry, on 10% of hits, we're doing fire damage. I'll take this. It says it's an improvement on the cone width. Unless it means... Nope, it's definitely wider. That's fine, whatever. Damage on Arcane Splinter, sure. Attack speed on needles. 10% base damage, I'll take. Here we go. Here we go. So minus 10% damage on lightning, but 0.6 additional strikes. So that means on every... I think there's 2 lightning strikes that come down at least. So every couple of hits we may get an extra 1 or so. Again, it's a very odd system of doing extra attacks. Actually, somebody told me PoE works that way as well. Maybe? Damage and crit on lightning minus... Yeah, okay. I'd like attack speed on lightning more than anything else. It's supremely good. There's another one of those. So lightning is it's randomly targeted. I really wanted to show you guys like an upgrade to one of the things, one of the skills. We got 4 different ones. I don't know if there's any rule as to how that works. If there's an inbuilt mechanic where you have to have X number of skills based on the number you've unlocked before you start getting duplicates. No idea. All of that stuff is hidden information. Okay, so a wider arc isn't necessarily a bad thing when it's a short range. I don't hate it. What are we at? 15 minutes, halfway through. See, it's completely different from Vampire Survivors. The clock counts down, not up. It's obvious. Holy smokes, we just demolished that dude. Alright, let's check the crown. You deal 2% extra damage with your main weapon for each burning enemy. We're not applying that much fire. You can stack abilities. What's the result? So, for example, there's 2... so far, I've unlocked 2 additional lightning skills. The next one you get changes it. So the first one is that it electrocutes enemies, which is another stat. I think electrocution is damage over time. Very high damage over time. And then the other one is an explosion, but it gets rid of the stun effect. And the explosion has a chance to ignite the ground. Both are very good. Doesn't really matter. Any upgrade to any skill is going to change the way it works for the better, I think, in most cases at least. You find the graphic style pretty nostalgic for some of the old games you used to play? That is not an accident. No, it's intentional. On killing a boss or elite, activate health regeneration for 60 seconds, regenerating 1 health per second. It's not really going to help me. I'm too powerful for that to even matter. I'll get this. Yeah, go on. What are we getting rid of with that one? 15% health capacity. All right. I may actually use this run as a YouTube video to show off the game. I've spoken enough about it. All right, I gotta do another run with this guy. Survive 20 minutes and not regenerate any health. Hi YouTube. I don't have I don't have the text on the screen. Piercing again. Some of the mods give you a Nova Drift vibe. The fact that mods can be enhanced is kind of, yeah, I get that feeling. Nova Drift's got a great system on how their mods evolve and how they work. So much so that it was emulated by 20 Minutes Till Dawn. It's a great success, I think. I think 20 Minutes did a great job with it. Nova Drift with the glowy worms. Yeah. Fucking rainbow colored asteroids. Yeah. Very pretty game. Very simple, but very effective as well. I haven't played that in forever. And there's been several major updates since I've last played. I made you buy both games? I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to head over to the blue indicator on the right side. That is the suck orb, as I like to call them. It essentially collects all the XP on the field. I'm not going to pick it up straight away, and with any luck, we'll get another freebie. My brain's been kind of off this whole time. And the fact that we were discussing this yesterday, one of the changes that I would personally make is turning off that indicator and not having any on the field by default at the start of the game. It's having those available supremely devalues the collection radius. Like I do not get collection radius. It's a waste of cash. It's a waste of an upgrade. Duration? Yeah, sure. Same principle as killing floor. What do you mean? Sorry, what are you referring to when you say that? The game? I'm gonna need some context there, because wasn't Killing Floor a first-person shooter? Enemies come from everywhere and you have to survive. Okay. I think Killing Floor came after Call of Duty Zombies or before. FPS survival. Yeah. I think Killing Floor was one of the first games that I was gifted when doing content creation, I think. Is anybody streaming Killing Floor right now? I'd be curious to know that. I saw her on Twitter today, the, you know how Steam has like a tracker for how many people are playing the game? It was a little graph for Meet Your Maker, and it's dropped to like just over 100. Chance to trigger hit effects, all abilities, 11%. I wonder if that works for fire. If I could check my stats right now, I'd be able to compare. So is Redfall? Yeah. Did anyone play the AVP game that came out in 2000? It was a great horde survival game. So interestingly, I saw a YouTube video. I'm trying to remember the dude's name. He was Australian. Used a lot of memes and swearing in his video. Anyway, he did a kind of a retrospective on all of the AVP games that came out from back in early console games to, is there an option of tracking quests? No, and I wish there was. Right up to AVP 2, which was my personal favorite. I have such nostalgia for that game. The Marine campaign, at least. The rest I couldn't care less about. But then he showed the one that came out in about 2010-ish, whatever. I'd never heard of that game. I was blown away. No, a quest tracker would be freaking amazing. Even if it was like an automatic quest tracker that appeared on screen if you picked up a specific weapon type, or if you were in a level type and it was already half completed, right? Like, some kind of threshold that would automatically put the quests that you need to complete on screen would be so dope. Anyway, the one that came out in 2010, or 2012, whatever it was, looked really good. I'd never heard of it. I had no idea it was even a thing. Okay, so this is... Oh, this isn't too bad, actually. He's standing pretty still. That's fine. Alright, here we go. So, Electrifying Strike. This is one of the upgrades for the lightning effect that we have. Enemies stunned by lightning strikes also get electrified. Then you look over on the left. Electrify deals damage 100%. This is the worst writing of a description of how something works in my entire life. Electrify deals damage 100. Each tick based on the amount of stacks applied to the enemy. Each stack decreases the tick time base 1 second. When Electrify ticks, it is reduced by 1 stack. If we have a developer in chat, hit me up. I would be more than happy to consult with you for free on how to rewrite all of this. But here's the thing as well. If one of your skills is changed, any of the upgrades for it, they keep going. And normally for most of the like player-based traits they cap out at 5, 4 or 5 depending on what you've unlocked. With the skills, it goes beyond that. I think I've gotten a level 7 something. I am an exclamation hot streamer, yes. Phantom needles, piercing and range. That's actually pretty damn good. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to unlock anything here at all, actually. We're almost at the 20-minute mark. You think it's a dot and leveling up the skill makes it deal damage faster, and every time it deals damage, it loses a stacked. And it has a certain amount of times it would deal a damage it consumed. Yeah, see, everything you've just written makes just as much sense. And here's the problem. We can't check any of it. Because the stats are hidden. Most of the stats are hidden. Oh, my health is dropping. Quite quickly, actually. Defense again? I'll take defense. Not range. We don't want range. Base critical. See? Transfixation 3 effectivity. I'll have to see if that's even a word. Plus 15% on hit chance. Not super important with transfixation. Again, maybe. No, I can't. It is applied so often, and it doesn't stack, so it wouldn't be worth getting that, I don't think. So here's the question: is this the only one that can appear, or is there another option for transfixation 3? I don't know. But I see this thing, and it keeps coming back, And it was suggested yesterday sometimes you have to take a bad one in order to unlock the next potentially good one. I fucking hate that. But we'll see how we go. .45 health regeneration per second. That's a lot. Nope, there's cadence. Okay, so I think I just answered that question. That's good. Attack speed, which is supremely important. Lore overlap with aliens in Blade Runner. I loved Prometheus and even Covenant. But my god, if I didn't know the origin of the alien, I wouldn't care. I would still love the franchise. Do I need to know that the Predators millions of years ago, or tens of thousands of years ago, saw humans as like good sport hunters and like, no, I don't need to know any of that. Like, it's so much more mysterious when you don't know shit about it, and it's just this thing, right? Do we need to know that the depending on what it impregnates, it creates a different form of Xeno? No, like none of this stuff. It's so super detailed, and it does feel like they filled in the blanks after the fact. Explaining the Force in Star Wars. That's a really good analogy, Steak Jones. Yes. Yeah. I mean, look, George Lucas shares my birthday, so I can't be too mad at him, but I almost called him up and had words. What's up, Loot? Good to see you, brother. Loot, you haven't added this game to your wish list yet. I'm gonna wish list shame you into putting it on. Nostalgia runs deep. Oh yeah, they picked a good vibe. Shockwave Core. Damaging an enemy with your main attack has a 10% chance to deal 20% of the damage as splash damage. %10 chance to deal 20%, which would be variable based on our primary weapon. That's a pretty damn good item for us. Am I playing the Prelude? No. So this is not out yet. It comes out on the 24th in early access. You can find this one on Keymailer, though. If you're a creator or have an account on Keymailer, go ahead and submit a request there. I can't promise anything, but worth a shot. What are we at? 6 minutes, huh? Level 51. So we kind of need 9 levels in the next 6 minutes, at least to get to level 60, which is a decent enough unlock, but I think that's literally the only thing I unlocked on this run. Which feels not great. We had a run yesterday where we unlocked like 15 different things. Wild. I read the patch notes as well for Darkest Dungeon 2. You remember the boss we had a couple of nights ago that ended my Chapter 1 through Chapter 5 attempts? It's being worked on in a major way. They've already addressed a few issues, but they're still reworking it. I think they understand just how confusing it is and how much knowledge is required. What are we, 52? 5 minutes? If I survive, we'll be doing okay. Now it's just a matter of collecting XP. So I'm going to have to maybe luck into an extra orb on the ground. I'll look for boxes and stuff. Arcane Splinter Mastery 1. Okay. I'll take it. That's good. Didn't expect to get that at the very least. Look, here's the thing. I don't mind a boss being difficult. I don't even mind WoW raid boss levels of learning if that's the case, right? But there seems to be a lot of inconsistency, or at least was. For example, when I had 3 of the debuffs stacked on my Man-at-Arms, I couldn't get a 4th debuff. It never came. And then we practically got 2-shot on our Man-at-Arms and had a turn each for everybody else on the team. How far am I into DD2? I've beaten Chapter 4. I haven't seen the Chapter 5 boss. I have fully unlocked, including cosmetics. Man-at-Arms, Hellion, Plague Doctor, Grave Robber. I think Highwayman might be my next. I've unlocked the full caravan upgrades, full caravan cosmetics. Actually, no, there still might be a few to go there. All of the creatures, the pets, I've unlocked all of those. I still have a ton of characters to do, and the thing that's going to be the most annoying is their lore, their backstories. Unsurprising to no one. Do I plan to 100% it? Maybe. I'm not fast if I don't. A couple of the achievements that I've gone for. One is entering a mountain with everyone with full negative relationship quirks. I tried 2 attempts at that, and each one took me a couple of hours, so I'm kind of pissed that didn't work. Plus 50% electrify chance, minus 50 base. Whatever. I did a couple of attempts at that, and I've done maybe 3 attempts. Only about 1 or 2 serious attempts at Chapters 1 through 5 with the same 4 team. That is extremely difficult. What do we got? 137 remaining. So it's about to get pretty hectic. And then the final boss will appear, and I probably won't be able to beat it because my movement speed is so low. How am I only level 3 at this stage? Feels very weird. Especially with the XP bonus that I have. The final boss has a projectile and a pathing attack that applies Doom, which has a 5-second timer on it, and then it's game over once that ticks down. I can't kill it in time. There's no way. I don't think that would be possible. There may be another way to avoid the Doom timer, but I think it's a projectile that homes, and it moves relatively quickly. So even with max speed, it may be a challenge to avoid. I don't know. I'm also not too worried about it if we don't get it either. I'm probably going to die here. It's a shame. 20 HP remaining. Yeah, I'm toast. Well, there you go. And we can check the damage at the end. Looks like 992. Oh, I hope I don't have one for 1,000,000. I bet you I do. So where's our primary weapon? 916. That's so bad, dude. So bad. And try him again. All right, so just to give you a little bit of show and tell here, if we talk to this dude, there's the war horns that we sent up just a second ago, and then we can choose something else if we want. I honestly don't think there's anything else here that I want yet. Like, this is a lot of good stuff, but... Oh, here we go. Look at this. Spike boots. That might be a good combo for the... When hit, drops 5 spikes to the ground that deal 20 damage and stun the enemy on contact.